like I've been here for a long time. Again, my name is Bosire. I'll be talking about building and selling WordPress themes, but I feel like Sam's already talked about building themes quite a bit. So I'm not going to get any technical with that stuff. I'm just going to talk about the business aspect of it. Yeah, so let's go. Let's do this. That's just my introduction. I'm going to just try and make it like really short and sweet. See how far I can get with this. So I've been a web developer since 2008. Well, to be honest, back then I was just playing with code. I wasn't really doing anything important. I started building themes in 2014, and I started selling themes in 2016. You can see there's a 2-year gap there, and that was a really difficult time for me. Really suffered a lot trying to get my themes on ThemeForest and whatnot. They still haven't let me in. So generally, this is all a story of passion and persistence. To be honest, where I've gotten, it's all through that, being passionate about what you do and being constantly just persistent, because I'm very lazy. So those two things have really helped me out. All right. So I'm going to talk about building the WordPress theme. I'm just going to try and make this very short. So the first thing you need to do is really just research and choose your niche, because what you don't want to do is build a theme that nobody wants, right? Yeah. So you do your research, go on ThemeForest, do everything else, ask people what they want to see, and then build that. I'll try and tell you to really avoid building multi-purpose themes. I know my friend Frank here will disagree with me, but try not to build a theme that does everything. Okay, so try to build a theme that is very focused on one thing. So if it's a real estate theme, build that. If it's a portfolio theme, build that. Even make it more focused. It's a portfolio theme for photographers. All right. It's a lot easier to market that. It's a lot easier to build that than trying to build a theme just does everything, like a sesame knife kind of thing. You're most likely going to mess up with the code or something when you're doing that. The next thing is just use a starter theme like the underscore as by automatic. Don't try to reinvent the wheel. You know, use the starter theme that's already there. It saves you tons of hours, to be honest. I use it for every project. If you're interested in all that DevOps stuff, if you want SaaS and Gulp in it and whatnot, it comes with options for that as well. The other thing is just follow WordPress coding standards. All right, they're pretty easy. They're all out there. There are no secrets or anything. There's not like a secret committee of guys who say you have to do your theme a certain way. So just follow the standards. Just make sure your theme is secure. Do things like escaping strings, sanitizing inputs and whatnot. So for you developers, pretty much understand what I'm talking about. Do internalization. I know somebody's talked about translation and whatnot. Make sure you do that, because you find that your theme's not just going to be used by English-speaking users, right? Like, I think probably like about a third of my themes is used by like Spanish guys. So if I never made them translatable, that's a very big part of the world like I would have left out. And just make sure your code is clean. The other thing is also make it simple to use. I know this sounds like really easy to do, but a lot of theme developers fall short when it comes to this. If any of you ever gone to ThemeForest, right, and you see one of those really beautiful themes and you're like, yeah, I want this, then you download it and install it and you're just like, what the fuck are they doing with this code, you know? It's so complicated in the back end that I personally sometimes find it difficult to install. And I build themes. So imagine what other people are going to go through, you know what I mean? So make it very simple to use. This is also going to save your ass a lot later. Another slide that's coming up. So yeah, see this. All right. So the other thing is about distribution. So use channels that are already there, like WordPress.org or ThemeForest. ThemeForest, you're familiar with ThemeForest, right? So the good thing about ThemeForest, you can get reach like really, really fast. Like you can start balling like the next day, right? But chances of that happening is really small. Like, do anybody knows the most popular theme on ThemeForest? Avada? Yeah, Avada. Anybody knows about how much is sold? 460,000 copies, right? It's made about $22 million. This one theme has made about 2 billion shillings. Yeah, from a theme. you'd really be balling that Lamborghini if you did that. But chances are you're not gonna get that short of life, you know. Yeah. I wouldn't be standing here if I was doing that. Nah, right? Be building my own roads. You know what I mean? Like, so it's a great avenue. It's a great thing. It's a great distribution channel and everything. But remember my first slide I showed you, I started building themes 2014 and I started selling them 2016. Those 2 years were lost in theme forest. All right? Those guys just wouldn't let me in the club. Maybe I wasn't cool enough for them. Well, yeah. I've got a friend of mine here who actually sells themes on Theme Forest, but he can tell you how much rejection he gets. It's constant. And he's one of the best developers I know. In fact, probably the best developer I know. And he still gets rejected. So if you're just starting off now, I'd save you the time and the worries and sleepless nights. Just go on WordPress.org. So the other thing about WordPress.org, you give it away for free, right? So you get few eyeballs here and there, you get downloads and stuff. I distribute all my themes on WordPress.org, so they are free. And I think right now I have about maybe 500,000 downloads on that. Like that's like in last year and a half or something like that, probably more. You see, you get a lot of users there. So I don't do a lot of marketing. I'm not good at that stuff. I hardly tweet about my own themes there. So WordPress.org is giving me an avenue where I can just give out my themes for free and everybody enjoys them and whatnot. Then the other thing is now you sell premium features. So I give away the theme for free. Oh, that's all yours. But if you want all the premium features, you gotta give me some part of your money, like you gotta reach into your pockets and get something back. And like Moko is gives out his free plugins. Well, we're just not cut from the same cloth, I guess. No, so I need to make my money somehow. So I sell premium plugins. Also, Sam talked about how you need to choose a theme that's just focusing on the looks, and you leave the functionality to the plugins. And that's exactly what I do, because I don't want when users change over for my themes, they lose their data. So that's why every functionality I have is on the plugins, right? So what I do is I sell on my own site. As I said, I'm still not cool enough to get into Theme Forest. So all I have to do is build my own website and set it up. And that's where I sell my stuff from. I use a plugin called Easy Digital Downloads. I know everybody here is WooCommerce, woo and everything, but no, it's not mine. I don't like a plugin that much because it's great for selling physical products. It really sucks for selling digital products. I might be wrong, don't kill me on this, but I don't use it. So Easy Digital Downloads, what they did was they took the same concept as WooCommerce and built a plugin that just focuses on selling digital products, right? So obviously they do that better than WooCommerce, because WooCommerce is just trying to try to sell everything. You can also use something like PayPal or credit card for checkout. PayPal has become very common in Kenya right now. I know you can withdraw your funds to M-Pesa in 2 hours, can withdraw it to Equity and whatnot. So Easy Digital Downloads actually gives you a free plugin for PayPal for integration. If you're thinking about maybe getting an M-Pesa checkout for this, maybe talk to Moko about it, but I doubt he's gonna make it for Easy Digital Downloads. The other thing is pricing. It's a bit trivial because you're building your own software, right? And you're like, oh, this thing took me 2 months. How much should I sell it for? You want to sell it for, obviously, you want to sell it for $1,000, but nobody's going to buy that stuff. So what you need to do is also do research and check out the pricing and whatnot. What you don't want to do is price it too low. So you don't want to sell your themes or plugins for $1.99, right? Because with $1.99, you're going to get $1.99 clients. I mean, those are shit clients, to be honest. They're really going to push you and make your life a living hell, all right? So the other thing is you don't want to sell it too high because nobody's going to buy that. So you try and look for a balance. So I sell my plugins between $39 and $49. It's pretty reasonable, I guess. Also realize low pricing attracts students. And students, I mean even guys who are learning how to code and stuff, bloggers and DIY guys. So the one thing all these guys have in common, they're really not technical people. So they're always going to need support, all right? And support is the next thing I'm going to talk about. So the funny thing is, if anybody here runs software business, No? Oh God, I'm alone. Oh jeez. Man. All right. Okay. I'm still going to talk about it anyways. Funny thing about running a software business is most of it does not involve writing code. And you realize this. That's why it's called a business. There's the business part of it, and that's the most important part of it. So for me, when I'm building my teams and I'm selling my teams and whatnot, I realize majority of my work, about 80% of it is support. Okay? So it's me sitting down and just replying back to guys and telling them what to do and what not to do. A lot of guys download your themes, they don't even know what's happening. Like yesterday I had a guy who downloaded a theme and we're like, oh, your software is not working, I want a refund. And I'm like, what do you mean? And I didn't even install WordPress. All right? So, yeah, you get those guys. You get a guy who double clicks on it and go like, it's not running. And you're like, God damn it. All right? So what I did was created a documentation, very well written documentation that anybody can follow. Very, very simple. So even if you're not technical at all, you go onto my documentation, you download my theme, you'll be able to set it up. Doing a video is a plus. I found like doing videos is actually a lot better than just writing. People really don't like reading. That's what I found out. Like, people really don't like reading. You will write the best documentation in the world, and they'll always constantly ask you for the same questions. Yeah. Then the other thing is be accessible on the forums. Like on my side, I've got like a little chat thing that pops up when I'm around. So I'm quite accessible when it comes to that and try to help people out. Yeah, I think I already talked about the other one. Also, remember that during support, this is your only opportunity for you to interact with your users, right? So all the improvements I've made, all the updates I make for my themes and plugins always comes from suggestions from users. But the other thing is also try not to code in every feature they ask for, because then you're just going to end up with this monstrosity of code that nobody else wants to use. So be a bit picky quite a lot of times. Right, so the last bit is marketing and affiliates. So if you're not technical, but you still want to sell themes, you know, it's not like only tech guys can sell themes now anymore. So what you can do is you can either set up an affiliate marketing site. So if you're writing something about WordPress and whatnot, and you're doing marketing, your SEO and whatnot, get affiliate links back to it. For instance, for my site, I give away like 35% for every sale you make. So you take a link and you blog about it or write a review, but every user you send back to my site and they make a purchase, and you're going to get 35% of it, right? So we all get to it. That's great. So the other thing you can do is sell other people's themes on your website. I guess it's what I've just talked about. Do marketing for theme developers. I said initially, I really do suck at marketing. Like I don't know where to start from. Right? I'm not ashamed to say I really don't know how to do it. Right? So we get other people, like there's a guy, actually he's not here today, but he's the one who's going to be working on my SEO from next week, I think. And then we'll see where it goes from there. Then the other thing is I do neither of these things, right? So this is a one slide. I will just cut it short from here. And instead of going on and bullshit everybody about what I know about marketing and I don't know it. All right. So, right. Any questions?